back with our weekly keys to this week. The Mountaineers take on the Duquesne Dukes for a semi-night game. Starts at 6 p.m. here in early September, and Mountaineer regional matchup against the FCS opponent in Duquesne. Keys to the game, Jarrett, I think, and we don't want to overstate this, we think West Virginia is going to win. I think both of us think that's going to be the case, but if we want West Virginia to perform well, there are certain keys, I think, that to a good game. And the first of which is an effective passing game. So I want to see what the passing game can do to take some strides beyond what they were able to do last week at Penn State. If the offense did some good things overall, the running game in particular played well. But I think Neil would tell you, and I think most fans would agree, that the passing game left quite a bit to be desired. Garrett was scrambling a lot at times when he was throwing the football, was only able to complete a handful of downfield passes with any distance, not many explosive plays with the exception of that blown coverage to Devin Carter. And so I want to see what they can do against a lesser opponent. Let Garrett sling it around a little bit. Let those receivers get some confidence going into the Pitt game. What do you think?
Yeah, and that's an important one as we move forward. How does the passing game perform? We know that we have a running game that we have CJ Donaldson. We've got an experienced offensive line. So taking that next step as an offense is gonna rely on our passing game. So how do they perform? That's a great one to kick us off.
Yeah, I think the next one I'm thinking of is, and I mentioned this, the Pitt game coming up next. You have to be careful not to look ahead at Pitt. If you want to have a good, clean football game, the Pitt game is going to be a huge game. It was such a big game last year, a close game. These teams are pretty evenly matched. You know the players are looking forward to it. Night game out near field, the place is going to be absolutely packed. And so you just got to be careful. Focus on the task at hand. Don't get caught up in next week's game. Play this week's game first and keep your head in the game. And if they do that, I think they'll be fine. But that there is a risk there, given where this game falls in the schedule. Again, I don't think West Virginia is going to be a risk in this game in terms of a winner of a loss. But it's important that they keep their focus where it belongs, which is on this game.
Yeah, and let's be honest, this is preparation for the Pitt game. As a fan, anybody in media is going to look at it and you say, okay, you're getting ready for the next one. We're all ready and waiting for that. It's sold out.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this game, which isn't sold out? You're going against an inferior opponent that you still need to respect. We've seen upsets in the past, albeit not in Mountaineer Field. But I look at how do our freshmen perform, or some of the younger players that are new to us. So Rodney Gallagher, we talked about him a little bit last week, and how could he potentially perform? At Penn State, he plays one play. Not much you're going to garner from that. Coming back, he's going to be in the first couple of series this time. So how does Rodney perform? He's from right up the road in Uniontown. I can't wait to see him. I know a lot of Mountaineer Nation is excited to see how he performs. So how does he and some of the other young guys, Traylon Ray would be another one that I'm excited to see how he performs on Mountaineer Field for the first time. So we have some young guys I'm looking forward to taking a look at and really getting an eye on their talent.
Yep. Totally.
Fourth key for me would be our secondary. How does the secondary bounce back and pass defense as a whole after a long day at Penn State? We had a couple of opportunities to make picks. One in the end zone that would have stopped a scoring drive for them. So how do they perform? Beanie Bishop, in more specifically, I would say I would take a look at. Beanie had a tough day at times. Got picked on, dropped 2 picks. And Aubrey Burks, how does he bounce back from a PFF rating that was the lowest on the team? So. Yeah. Any thoughts?
So I agree with both of those things. I think obviously you're going to be playing a much lesser talented team in Duquesne coming into the pass game. I think they're going to try, if they're smart, they'll try to run the ball more than they're going to try to pass and control clock. But I think they also have historically thrown the ball downfield Neil said this week he wouldn't be surprised if they chucked it downfield. So I think we'll certainly get some opportunities to defend deep balls. I want to see how Beanie Bishop bounces back as well. He has a lot of experience playing college football, and I think he will bounce back and play well. I fully expect him to have a good day. A couple of other things there. Montre Miller is out potentially for an extended amount of time. He played in a backup role, some snaps at corner as well, and was expected to really be a contributor this year. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. And then the second is Jacoby Spells. How much is he going to play? He played sparingly, came on a little bit toward the end of last year, had that great pick 6 in the Virginia Tech game, was a really highly rated recruit. How does his development go? I fully expect he's going to get more playing time against Duquesne this weekend, particularly if West Virginia is able to stretch the score and out a little bit and get some separation. And if he plays, how does he do? And so I think that's a great one, Jared. We'll see how they play on Saturday. Looking forward to it.
Yep. Yeah, really looking forward to it also. So tomorrow evening, we've got the Duquesne Dukes at the West Virginia Mountaineers. First home game of the season. So let's go Mountaineers.
Go Mountaineers.